Okay, who we got in the chat? I'm just waiting for my video to start here as usual. Welcome to Analog Toys. I think this is live stream 27. We started doing live streams just towards the end of 2019. So advert playing on my own video, love it. Excuse me, but yeah, I think we started doing live streams towards the end of 2019. So that's 27 live streams that we've done in a bit over a year, and getting close to Christmas, and there's another one next year. So, all right, who we got in the chat? It's a bit hot in here today. Scuba Pete, Anthony Whitehead, John Baldry, Keith Knight. How you all doing? George Aitken. Good to see everyone. Picture looks a bit blurry. I think like last time, I just run this through my phone, guys, and I need to wipe the camera lens again. How's that? Is that better? Yes, Kieran Ball, I'm feeling much better, thanks. Timothy Ward, good to see you. Venkman, nice to see you on. Yes, I'm feeling much better, guys. For those of you on Patreon, you know kind of what happened. I woke up on Saturday morning, which is for the Friday night live stream. I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and one side of my face had swollen up massively to the point where I had to jump in the car and go to the hospital, and I had some kind of ulcer. But I've been taking antibiotics for a few days. I've got a couple more days to go, but it's pretty much cleared up. My face was out here and I looked like I'd had a stroke. All my mouth was drooping, but I'm all good now. All good. And we're here today to talk about Indiana Jones toys. I didn't get all of the Kenner stuff out that I've got simply because so many small figures and I don't have figure stands for them. I'm concerned with my clumsiness. I'm going to bump a few of them off the table. So I just got a handful out. We've obviously got the LJ and Indiana Jones here. I've got a modern talking Indy here. And we'll have a bit of a chat about Indiana Jones toys. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I don't look like a chipmunk anymore. I only look like half a chipmunk. Like one side was chipmunk, the other side was normal. So, Rich Hawkins, how you doing? So, before we get into Indiana Jones toys, Action Force 1982 is shaping up to be an awesome video. I'm really, really pleased with the way this one has turned out. The Patreon's got a bit of an update yesterday. I said I was about 70% done. Well, I was up pretty early this morning. It's 7 o'clock here. I got up around 4:30, which is not unusual for me. I got up around 4:30 and I didn't need to set up the live stream straight away. And it only takes me about half hour, 40 minutes to set everything up here. I was like, you know what, I'm going to see if I can get the rest of the B-roll finished. And when I started going down filming the last few, what I thought was going to be a lot of B-roll shots, there actually wasn't that much left to film. So I got all the filming done. I've imported it into the computer. And after this live stream, I think I've got 2 minutes of footage left to edit in a 20-minute video. So patrons, I reckon you'll have Action Force 1982 by midnight, I want to say, for those of you who are on the east coast of the States. Probably before midnight, but let's say midnight. And then YouTube, the wider audience, will get that video tomorrow. George Aitken's looking forward to that one. George, I will give you early access to that video as well as the patrons, because your generosity, I couldn't have made that video without your generosity. So thank you very much, George. Gojatron, good to see you. I need attention, says, damn it, I'm late. You're not very late. We've only been going 4 minutes. Scuba Pete says he can't wait for 82. I can't wait to go back to 1982. But yes, George, absolutely, George. I'll be sending you the link straight away. I'll also be sending it to Bob Breakin. So if there's any, the only reason it won't go wide on YouTube 24 hours after Patreon will be if Bob comes back and there is any kind of mistakes or I've misquoted something. But Bob has had a lot of involvement in the script on this one. This is not a traditional, as you know on this channel, this is not just a review of all the toys. This particular video goes into the whole history around how Action Force was first conceived, how the action figures were developed. I talk about a guy called Ron Cameron, who is a internationally regarded sculptor who was employed by Palitoy to actually sculpt the 3 3/4 inch scaled action figures. So lots and lots of history in there, and that's why I like that video so much. I'm hopefully bringing some information to the community that you haven't heard before. So Michael Murray says, very nice Indiana Jones collection. Thank you very much. Lucas Zahn loves Indiana Jones. So do I. Now, if anyone from the UK is here and knows the answer to this, I'm almost certain that Kenner's Indiana Jones toys were not available in the UK in the early 80s. I, for some reason, had the Map Room playset, I think it was, and a Tote action figure when I was a kid, which I believe my grandparents or someone brought it back from an overseas trip. I don't know. Lucas Zahn saying live stream won't load, I'll be back later. Just hit refresh, man. Ken Lombardi, yes, they were definitely available in Australia, but I don't think they were available in the UK. But I was well aware of them because I had, like I say, I had the Map Room mini play set and Tote, and they just ended up becoming additional characters for my G.I. Joe or my Action Force toys, because I didn't have any of the others. So really, when I was a child, my main memories of Indiana Jones are watching the films, particularly the first two. By the time The Last Crusade had come out, which I do love that film, but by the time The Last Crusade had come out, I was a little bit older and wasn't really into toys anymore. But a lot's been made of how good the Kenner Adventures of Indiana Jones toy line is, and I completely agree. It's one of the most highly detailed, beautifully made toy lines of the 80s. But it wasn't very popular. And I think it was down to the concept of Indiana Jones, I think, would have lent itself far better to role-playing type toys. Like when I was a child, I would have much preferred to have had a toy revolver, a toy whip, and a fedora, child-sized fedora, and go and play out in the woods or out in the park dressed as Indiana Jones as opposed to playing with the toys. But Rich Hawkins says he never saw them in the UK, didn't even know they existed until a few years ago. I've been aware of them for a long time. For a long time, I pined after this boxed 12-inch Indiana Jones action figure. And I picked one up a number of years ago. The box was in really poor condition. I've done a major restoration on this box, but the figure's complete. And after I received it, I was like, why have I pined over this for so long? It's an absolute crap toy. It's a Ken doll with poorly fitting clothes, limited articulation. His hat just looks like a Hessian bag dumped on his head. It's terrible. Looks good in the box. Don't take it out of the box. Wesley Hendricks says, "Hi Tony, finally got the live stream figured out. Sorry I'm late." All good, Wesley. We've only been going 8 minutes. You haven't missed very much at all, and I'm really glad you're here because everyone, I've got a huge mystery box from Wesley just here. So we'll open that towards the end of the stream. Wesley's a patron of the channel, so. Salvador, good to see you. Kieran Ball, the only Indiana Jones figure I remember in the UK is the 12-inch figure. Yeah, I'm not even sure that they released that. Palitoy was... The people at Palitoy called Kenner a sister company. I'm sure Kenner called Palitoy a sister company as well. But they were part of the same toy group, which is why Palitoy got the rights to release Star Wars toys in the UK. I have digital copies of every single Palitoy trade catalogue from 1966, or maybe even before that, maybe even before Action Man, from the early 60s right through to the company's demise in 1985. And not one of those catalogues has any Indiana Jones stuff in it. And I can't see Indiana Jones being sold in the UK by another company because, actually no, that might be possible because even though Palitoy and Kenner were sister companies, the $6 Million Man toy line, which was produced by Kenner in the States, was sold in the United Kingdom by another company called Denny's Fisher. So, no, maybe. Although I've never seen a 12-inch Indiana Jones figure in a Denny's Fisher box either. You would not see it in the UK in a Kenner box. That just wouldn't happen. Where are we at? Keith Knight says, yeah, definitely no Indiana Jones toys here in London at the time. Yeah, I really don't think so. I'm not even sure if the LJN stuff or the Temple of Doom came out later on, but... hi Tony, Paul Richards from Bradford, West Yorkshire. Would love to start collecting the Kenner Indie series, but they are really expensive now. Yes, they are, but they're a great line to collect. At one point, I had the entire collection, including Marion Ravenwood. I think the only piece that was missing was Belloc's map. I've just done a reprinted copy of that. And the plastic stand for Marion Ravenwood. But I very stupidly, I say that now in hindsight, traded Marion Ravenwood to a fellow collector because I had for a long time wanted to get a removable cow Batman from the Mego World's Greatest Superheroes line. So we did a trade like a year ago, I think. And following that trade, I've been out trying to get another Marion Ravenwood, and they're not turning up even, I know I'm not going to get her for peanuts. I'm willing to pay up for a Marion Ravenwood, but I'm not going to pay the ridiculous prices of the few that I've seen on eBay. And yeah, in hindsight, I should never have made that trade because a lot more removable cow Batmans have come up that I'm willing to sort of pay that price for, if that makes sense. Yes, M. Price, I'm feeling much better, thanks. He says, hello from Alabama. Good to see you here. Salvador says, they're expensive, but it's a small set, so money aside, it's simple to complete. It's all kind of simple to complete. I'm really, really struggling now with trying to reacquire Marion Ravenwood. I have everything else in the line. I've got all the plays. I have the boxes for all 3 play sets. I don't have the box for this. Don't have any carded figures. I'm not too concerned, but I have a number of pieces of packaging here. For example, I've got the Streets of Cairo boxed. Actually, a number of these items I actually picked up in Australia. The Map Room play set I picked up at a Nexus Toy Fair in Perth for like $110. The Streets of Cairo came from a toy shop in Melbourne called... Oh, the name's going to escape me now. It's quite a well-known vintage toy shop in Melbourne. I mail ordered that from them and they had it available on their eBay page. Oh, Sal, that would be awesome. If you can get hold of Seth Hastings and see if he's got a Marion, and let me know what he's asking for it. That'd be cool. I'm not too concerned if she doesn't have the figure stand, but she has to have the monkey accessory. Yes, George. I would have loved to have this truck when I was a kid as well, because this would have gone so well with Action Force. This is it's quite fragile though. I mean, a lot of things in this toy line are fragile. Lady Harriet, come here. Who wants to say hello to Lady Harriet? Say hi. Say hi. What's going on? You're on a YouTube live stream. What are you looking at? Hey? She's not getting that big, George. We actually think she's going to be a mini cat. Go on, off you go. Keith Holmesley, good to see you. Yeah, she's a beautiful cat, and I'm quite happy about this. You know, Grace is the crazy cat lady, and you know all the cats are technically her cats, but Lady Harriet seems to love me more than she loves Gracie. So no, that's right, Rich Hawkins. She's not impressed being on the live stream. She's just wandering around the floor here. Um, I'll just say, guys, I've got a hell of a lot of packing up to do today. I never quite predicted this, but when I started filming a couple of days ago on Action Force 1982, I realised that I had to get a massive portion of my Action Man collection out of the cabinets as well, because you know, when you talk about the Action Force Desert Rat, I want to show you the 12-inch Action Man figure that it was inspired by. There is stuff all over the studio, as the patrons will attest to. I did a short video on the Patreon to show them all the stuff that was laid out in the studio, and it's still there. I'm going to leave it down there until I finish the edit, just in case there's anything I'm not happy with and I need to go back and reshoot. I'll get the video edited first, get it uploaded to Patreon, then I'll pack up down there. I'll pack up the live stream. I'm going to take my son for a haircut today, and then I'm going to start working on the Christmas special video. Betsy Des says, "Hey man, I lived in Worthing for 7 years, went to Northbrook College. Great days, love the channel." Betsy Deaf, I grew up in Worthing, moved to Australia when I was 11, moved back to the United Kingdom when I was around 24, lived in Worthing, and I also went to Northbrook College because I got an apprenticeship as a mechanical fitter, and I went to Northbrook College to learn machining, milling, turning, all that kind of stuff. So, small world, eh? Small world. Wesley Hendricks says he just finished watching Quigley Down Under with Tom Selleck. Was Tom Selleck even thought of for Indiana Jones? Yes, Wesley. Tom Selleck was the first choice for Indiana Jones. George Lucas did not want to go with Harrison Ford because he'd recently used him in Star Wars as Han Solo. But then I think Tom Selleck couldn't be released from his contract for Magnum PI, so they went with Harrison Ford, and I would love to have seen what Tom Selleck would have done with the character, but I'm also very happy with the way Harrison Ford portrayed him. Hey, IXI Shogun IXI. I don't know, there's another way to pronounce that. Will we get a spoiler discussion Mandalorian live stream? No, probably not. I don't want to do a live stream about the Mandalorian because this is a toy channel. So, and I know there are Mandalorian related toys, but I don't collect them. So if I can't talk about the toys, I won't really talk about the sort of media property associated with it. Also, I don't think people are going to like what I have to say about The Mandalorian, particularly that last episode. And I know there's been a lot of discussion online about some people loving the return of Luke Skywalker, some people thinking the CGI was terrible, which I thought it was. You know, something that no one is talking about from that last, because everyone's so wrapped up in the return of Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, is that there are two moments in that episode, that feature they call the Dark Troopers, where they start playing techno music in a Star Wars TV show. This is before I even saw the appearance of Luke. They started playing techno music. I'm like, what in the hell is this? And did anyone else notice that? Like, no one seems to have talked about it. Oh yeah, spoilers. Gen X says it was pseudo techno music. I'm not even sure what that means. Sonic Imperium says, Tony, I might be the only other person who agrees with you about the Mandalorian. Nah, Sonic, there's a few people. I don't hate the TV show. I think it is serviceable. I don't believe... I found it enjoyable. I think I've enjoyed... Hey! I think I've enjoyed Season 2 more than Season 1. But... it's not this masterpiece that people are making out. Yes, exactly, Tim Ward. The Mandalorian is mostly harmless. That last episode did it for me. And it did it for me when I heard techno music. Techno music in a Star Wars TV show. That's long before I saw this creepy, possessed... it was like... Is it the Stepford Wives or whatever? It was like a soulless android Luke, and it really bothered me. Anyway, Wesco White, thank you very much for the super chat. It says, any thoughts and/or hopes for the new indie movie? I want it to be good. I want all of these properties to be good, but Disney's track record over the last sort of 10, 20 years has not been great. I don't have a lot of confidence. I hope someone else inherits the mantle. Although no, I don't hope someone inherits the mantle. I think Indiana Jones should be. I think it should be recast and go back to the late 30s, early 40s. I think the concept works best in that time era, in that time period. If Indy's going to pass on the fedora to someone else to become a new Indiana Jones, when's that going to be set? The 60s, the 70s? No, that's not what the Adventures of Indiana Jones is about. It's a late 30s, early 40s serial. So, thank you, Clay3613. Uncanny Valley. That's the term I'm looking for. Wesley Hendricks, think Hasbro will do a retro toy line for Indiana Jones with the new... quite possibly they will. Although I don't think they'll recreate these because they weren't that popular the first time, so... I don't know. What you guys can't see is just out of camera frame. Lady Harriet's sitting down here on a bench looking up. Yeah, Harry... Andrew Bennett says, do you think Indie Trilogy is better than the Star Wars original trilogy? No, I think Star Wars is better, but not by much. Indiana Jones would be a close second or third for me. When we talk about the best trilogies of all time, I think of Star Wars, I think of Indiana Jones, because to me Indiana Jones is only a trilogy, there wasn't a fourth film. I think of Back to the Future. Venkman says, with the new movie, I'm still hoping Marvel will release a nice fat Indiana Jones omnibus. Yeah, that would be very, very good. Ivan E says he wants to see an Indiana Jones Shadow Rocketeer live crossover set in the 30s. That would be cool. That would be very cool. That could be like a what if, maybe a one-off what if movie or something. Magnificent Kaboom says Analog Toys. Whoop, your comment went past. Does great work. Will there be variant figures with Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones? And all figures based on Ron Wyatt finding the real arc in 1982. I don't know. Bobby L. Collins is Porky's best cinematic trilogy. Maybe. Gojatron says, let's just pretend Crystal Skull never happened. What's Crystal Skull? Never heard of it. Hey! Get out of it! Damn cats. Dark Alex 1978 says, I think that the thing is that Star Wars needed to be a trilogy, while Indiana Jones just happened to be a trilogy. But story-wise, it was not needed. Yeah, absolutely. There was 3 films, but there's not that much kind of continuity between them. As a matter of fact, in correct chronological order, the Temple of Doom should come first, then Raiders of the Lost Ark, then The Last Crusade. Keith Holmesley says, Tony, did you like Mad Max Fury Road? I really enjoyed it. Yes, I did. I really, really enjoyed Mad Max Fury Road. I thought that was an excellent, excellent film. Indiana Jones and the Furious Feline now filming in Tony's studio. Yeah, she's not really furious. She's just playful. This one. If we didn't have the Crystal Skull, we wouldn't have that excellent German toy truck. Yeah, you're quite right there. It took me a moment to figure out what German truck you were talking about, but Scuba Pete actually posted a photo of that on the Patreon yesterday, I think. Does look very good, similar to this, but actually it's got a proper fabric cover for the back. It looks brilliant. Huffleclaw PRD says favourite MCU movie, and that for me would be Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Do you think they'll bring back the Battlestar Galactica retro and Buck Rogers in the 25th century? I don't know. If the brand has a resurgence, I'm sure they will. I don't even know who kind of owns the rights to those anymore. Obviously, Battlestar Galactica was Mattel back in the day, and Buck Rogers was Mego, but I don't know. Jimmy says, hi Tony, what do you think is a good price for the Indiana Jones Kenner toy? Want to start collecting them. Jimmy, I don't give out valuations on this channel. I don't mean to be rude when I say that, but if you want to learn values of toys, just go on eBay and search sold listings to see what other people are paying for stuff. I don't want to steer people in the wrong direction, and my collection is not about value. So I've always steered clear of providing valuations for people on this channel. So apologies, but I'll give you the advice. Best way is to have a look around on eBay. Search Kenner Indiana Jones, go down the side, or go into the filters on eBay and search for sold listings, and you'll get a good idea of what stuff is selling for, what the current equipment is. John Baldry's asking what happened to the Retro Blasting live stream on Saturday. As Tim Ward says there, they had some kind of equipment failure. I'm not 100%. I've been speaking to Michael a lot the last couple of days, but about something else. And I never asked him. He just, there was a Facebook post from Retro Blasting that said they'd had a equipment malfunction. So hopefully everything gets sorted out, and I believe they're going to do a Christmas Day live stream. Speaking of which, I'll get to that in a minute. I just saw Alan Dawson pop up. Hey Alan, how are you doing? Had the Indiana Jones films been released in chronological order, do you think we would have ever got the full trilogy? Interesting question. I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about because the Temple of Doom would have come first, and I think that was one of the movies that introduced the PG-13 rating. Yeah, I still think we would have gotten the full trilogy, but maybe Raiders is quite dark in its own right. Maybe it would have been even darker. Who knows? Who knows where it would have gone? Yes, sorry, and live stream announcement. So I believe Retro Blasting is doing a live stream on Christmas Day, which fortunately for me will be early on Boxing Day. So if I'm not up early enough to watch it, I will definitely watch the replay. I'll watch it back afterwards. But the Analog Toys next live stream is going to be on Christmas Eve. We're going to draw the raffle tickets for the Stan Solo action figure giveaway, which is for active members of the Patreon. So there's a third, second, and first place prize of carded Stan Solo figures. Third prize being one Return of the Jedi figure. Second place being 2 Empire Strikes Back droid figures. First place being 3 carded Star Wars figures and a loose Star Wars figure. All you got to do is be an active member of our Patreon up until probably the day before Christmas Eve, which is when I will print out all the tickets. Anyone who's an active member of Patreon. So we're going to do a live stream on Christmas Eve. Gracie's going to make another appearance on the channel. She's going to draw the raffle tickets. However, because Gracie's working all this week, we can't do an early morning live stream, and she doesn't want to do it too late in the evening. So I believe we're doing the stream, I think she's agreed on 7:30 p.m. at night, my time. So for those of you in the United States, if you're on the East Coast, that's going to be 6:30 in the morning on the East Coast. A very early start. It'll be like breakfast TV on Analog Toys. So apologies to those viewers in the central time zone in the States, and particularly the Western time zone. It's going to be very early in the morning. But it's going to be a real good thing for UK viewers. For UK viewers, it's going to be 11:30 in the morning, I think it is. It's going to start. It's going to be just a Tony and Gracie show. We're going to answer your questions. I'm going to play a bit of a fun game with Grace on the chat on the live stream. We're going to draw some raffle tickets. We're going to have a couple of drinks. We're going to have a laugh. So I hope to see you all there. I'll put some announcements up and share the link in the next couple of days. John Baldry says, for Christmas, Tony, are you hoping for any toys and what? I've only asked for one toy this year from Grey. I actually asked for some new studio lighting. I've had this lighting for years. It's very big, very, very large bulbs with kind of a softbox over the top of them. Draws a lot of power. I've had these lights since before I made the Story of Action Man documentary, so probably 12 years, something like that, 11, 12 years. I've asked for a set of LED lights, and I think Grace has got me that for Christmas. There may be a toy as well. I've only asked for one, and if I get it, I will. I'll let you guys know. Don't want to count my chickens. Don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Eggs, chickens, whatever. Didn't Indiana Jones find Han Solo's body in a comic? I have no idea. He certainly found his body for this 12-inch figure. This 12-inch figure is the same sculpt as the large-size Han Solo figure from the Star Wars Kenner line. But the eyes are painted a different colour. I can't remember which is which. I think the eyes are blue in this and brown on the Han Solo, or whichever it is. George, you're working Christmas Eve, man. Thank you for what you do, working for the NHS like you do. But yeah, definitely catch the live stream later on. James Brewster, did I ever watch the Young Indiana Jones TV series with the old Indy with the eye patch? Was 92. I watched them back in the day. I've never rewatched them since. King Eric the Greatest of All says, cool truck in the background. Yeah, this is a fantastic toy. I particularly like the Desert Convoy truck. Liar Convoys Review, good to see you on here, and thank you very much for the super chat. Says, I know nothing about Indiana Jones toys. Just here to show my support. Love what you do. Thanks, Matt. I love what you do as well. And I love the way that you support both this channel and Retro Blasting. So thank you very much. AJ Vargas, Disney owns Indiana Jones and the Rocketeer. Team up would be cool. Yeah, team up would be cool. It's from the right era. Andrew Bennett says, do you like the Toys McCoy Indiana Jones? Yeah, it's like a lot like Sideshow and Hot Toys. It's a brilliantly made 1/6 scale figure, but I don't collect a lot of modern stuff, and probably a little bit like Lego as well. Collecting Hot Toys and Sideshow and those kind of things is a lot. They are so expensive. There's continuously new product coming out. If you're going to collect that, you probably shouldn't collect vintage toys because, well, unless you're incredibly wealthy. So, Alan Dawson, I saw something recently which said, what if all the Indiana Jones adventures were Han Solo's dreams while he was frozen in carbonite? Yeah, I've heard that as well. Wolfie762 says, Tony, your timing for this topic was perfect. I just purchased a wrench for the German mechanic on Wednesday. It is the very last piece I needed to complete the 3 3/4 inch figures. Excellent. Well done, Wolfie. Major Tom, sorry if this is off topic. Doesn't matter if it's off topic, man. There's always open questions on the live streams here. Sorry if this is off topic, but I've noticed that some of the G.I. Joe Soldiers of the World figures have talking variants. Does the Japanese Imperial Soldier have a talking variant too? Not that I'm aware of. A lot of those talking variants came in larger boxes later on in the line, almost like clearance boxes, where you could get a talking Joe with two or three outfits in there. So kind of that's where that came from. I don't believe that the Japanese was ever sold with a talking box. If you ever come across one, someone has probably just taken the head and put it on another body. There would be no way to know for certain because it's so easy to, well, not easy, but it's possible to change out the heads. Oh, Lio Convoy. Thank you for the super chat and the great suggestion. You know what would be a really neat crossover? Indiana Jones and the Phantom. 100%. But I have one caveat. Billy Zane is not to play the Phantom in that crossover. They have to completely recast both characters. But that's a great suggestion. Chris Miwa says, Tony, love the playset on the table. I'm really impressed with the details on that set. Recently saw the movies again. Yeah, and I was really pleased when I picked this up. It was not only complete, and I think I purchased this in Australia as well. It was not only complete, it came with 2 full sets of snakes. So I had extra snakes to scatter around on the playset. It's excellent. Keith Knight, thank you very much for the super chat. He said, as you love cats so much, I'll send you Chaos for Christmas. No, you can keep Chaos, mate. I don't know how we're going to get Chaos through customs, so... Harold says, Oi, Billy Zane was great as a Phantom, just as Alec Baldwin was as a Shadow. I liked Adam Baldwin as a Shadow. I don't think Billy Zane was terrible as the Phantom, but I think there could have been a better choice. Brian Wilde, did I ever read the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones Marvel comic books? They are completely worthless, but I have them and I love them. No, I've never read those. Sontaran Bile says, has anyone noticed right now, at least, that the 50th anniversary Action Man is a lot more common than the 40th? I think that's because the 40th range was far more extensive. That's actually become a collectible now in its own right. I had so much of that stuff that I sold off. If I'd hung on to it a bit longer, I could have made a lot more money, but I don't have any regrets because it went to a friend and fellow collector down in Perth. Someone who was kind of just starting out collecting Action Man, and I think he purchased 3 large lots off me over a 12-month period and pretty much cleaned me out of all my 40th anniversary stuff, and he's now got a fantastic collection, so no regrets there. Whereas the 50th anniversary Action Man was just 4 figures. So... George Aiken, are you going to do a top 10 Action Force vehicle video? It's on my list, George. It's on my list of video, my ever-growing list of video ideas. We'll see what happens in the new year. See how things go. Tony, do you think Kenner should have done the figures for all 3 Indiana Jones films at the same scale like the Star Wars line? I completely understand why they didn't, because the Adventures of Indiana Jones from based on the first movie did not sell well. So they actually relinquished the license to LJN for Temple of Doom, and yes, it would have been great, but I understand why it never happened. You know, it was a commercial backfire, so Kenner never pursued it. And you can't change history. Wesley Hendricks says, only indie figure I got is the German with the burned hand, found at a garage sale. What was your first figure and when did you get it? It was the same guy. I had Tote, and I had the Mapperin playset that had Indiana Jones in the headscarf, and I got this in like 83, 84, when a relative brought it back from an overseas holiday. John Baldry, question, what's the points of articulation on Indiana Jones? 7 points of articulation. So neck, shoulders and hips, just like a Star Wars figure, but then also 2 bending knees. Actually, no, maybe technically 6. Like for Indy himself, he's got a spring-loaded right arm, so it doesn't actually articulate very well. No. Polar Pack says, when were these toys released? I believe these are 81. The Kenners were Kenner was 81, I think. 82. 1982. King Out the Greatest of All says, how many playsets were there? There were 3. So you've got the Well of the Souls playset, which was the biggest, and it's still kind of a small playset. But then you had the Streets of Cairo adventure set. Technically isn't a playset, it's a cart and a fruit stand and a figure. And then the Map Room mini playset. And we got the box here for the Well of the Souls as well. Look at all that indie packaging in one shot. How cool is that? Lady Harriet, what are you doing? And I'm pretty certain all 3 of those play sets and the boxes, I purchased them all in Australia. So Kenner's Indiana Jones was definitely available in Australia. The cat doesn't care about the figures. The cat just wants to be annoying. I don't know if you can see behind me down here, I've also got the Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark board game. Not much of a board game collector, but I particularly like the artwork on this. And it's actually, this artwork obviously inspires the logo design of Analog Toys. That's how much I like Indiana Jones. The Analog Toys logo was the first thing that ever sprang to mind when I was kind of starting the channels, that I wanted the Analog Toys logo to be in that Indiana Jones font. Chris Meaver says, love the River Phoenix part in The Last Crusade. Such a great actor, gone way too soon. Yes, yeah, very, very tragic that we lost River Phoenix when we did. And I completely agree with your sentiments about his performance in The Last Crusade. King Eric the Greatest of All says, Tony, did you see Raiders in the theatre back in the day? When I was a child, I never went to the cinema. It was, you know, my parents were working class people who always provided for us. You know, we always got good toys at Christmas, and you know, always fed, clothed, all that kind of thing. But we certainly weren't well off. And my parents would save up, you know, for half. They would save up for half a year to get me a nice birthday present, and another half a year to get me Christmas presents. They couldn't afford to do, because going to the movies in the UK back then was quite expensive. Well, they used to tell me it's expensive. I believe the first movie I ever saw in the theatre was Crocodile Dundee when I would have been like 8 or 9. It was the first time I ever went to the cinema. So I never had the fortune of seeing Return of the Jedi or Temple of Doom or any of those movies in the theatre. When I got to Australia, very, very different. I moved to Australia in '88, and in 1989 I saw Batman 3 times. When was Terminator 2? 91? 91, I was in my early teens. I think I saw Terminator 2 at the cinema 3 or 4 times. That's when I really started going to the cinema and falling in love with the experience of going to the cinema. Alion Phoenix, or Alion Halliwell Phoenix says, greetings from South Korea and Puerto Rico. How does that work? Yes, Scuba Pete, the horse was sold on a blister card, much like the action figures. What is your favourite figure or set from the indie toy line? My favourite toy is the Desert Convoy truck. Lady Harriet. My favourite toy is the Desert Convoy truck. My favourite figure is a figure that was not released into the Indiana Jones line, but should have been. For anyone who thinks that the German soldier was omitted from the Indiana Jones toy line, what you need to do is get yourself an Action Force German soldier, or get a few of them and add it to your Indiana Jones line. Best figure in the line. Scuba Pete says, can I show the Ark? The Ark of the Covenant, the most beautiful 3 3/4 inch scale action figure accessory ever created. Harry! Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. It's quite tricky getting that in there, Pete. Oh, stretch my arms. Venkerman, thank you very much for the super chat. It says $5 for Lady Harriet. Mark Fisher, yes, there is a Marion. I talked about that earlier in the stream. It's one figure that I'm missing from the set. Although I really wish Marion had have come, had have been the action figure had have been sold in a different costume as opposed to the white frilly dress that she was in, or give us 2 Marions, something like that, and not just the little plastic molded one that you stick in the basket in the Streets of Cairo playset. Alion Halliwell Phoenix, I don't know if it was asked before, but which item from that collection was the most difficult to get? Well, it's going to be Marion Ravenwood because I don't have it. Another piece really hard to get is the map for Belloc. Andrew Bennett, is it plastic or die cast? It's vac metalized plastic if you're talking about the Ark. The extra scene tells why Indy knows why the clothes is... Phil Chadwick, I don't know what you're talking about, that extra scene there. I'm sure I've seen the deleted scenes from that before, but I don't remember it. Dave Pippin, yes, it is gold. It didn't show up very well on the camera. You can probably see it a little bit better down there. It's vac metalized gold. It's a beautiful accessory. Harry, what are you playing with? Okay, we've been going for about 49 minutes and we have a mystery box to open. Just before we open the mystery box, I'm going to have to put these guys somewhere. Where they won't get knocked over. You go, Indy. Ooh. Scuba Pete, thank you very much for the very generous super chat. It says, for your Black Series habit, Merry Christmas. Thank you, man. That will go straight on a Black Series figure after this. I'll jump on eBay just to make sure that the money goes where you want it to go. Yeah, just before we open the mystery box, I just want to show you one other thing from the collection. And that is my Indiana Jones lunchbox and thermos. I'm a big fan of vintage lunchboxes, and I don't have a huge collection. I think I've only got like 6 lunchboxes, and probably only half of those actually have the thermos with them. But this is one of my favourites. I'm just looking down there. I've also got Battlestar Galactica lunchbox, E.T., Buck Rogers. I've got a Rambo one and I've got a Lone Ranger one. But this lunchbox is fantastic. This is in great condition as well. Different artwork on the back. Temple of Doom. Got an Indian short round. Yeah, Indian short round on the bottom there. Just thought it was another nice collectible piece that I would pull out and show you. Yes, Tim Ward, it is in very, very nice shape. I think I paid a little bit too much for this one, but no regrets. I love having this in my collection. Goes very well with the 3 LJN action figures that I also have. Yeah, the Rambo one is... getting off Indiana Jones for a moment, but I've got the Rambo one. I've got the thermos for this as well. This is the last metal lunchbox ever made for kids. After this, they went plastic due to some crazy mothers complaining about kids using metal lunchboxes to beat each other in the head. Has everyone seen the... there's a push button on the side of this horse that you press. Gives him a galloping action. Cool. We'll get this out of the way. What I'm thinking of, I have so many people ask me about these acrylic stands. People send me Facebook messages, emails, they comment on YouTube videos. Where did you get those stands? eBay. All you do, like, don't search under toys and stuff like that. You can buy these in all different sizes. Normally you can get them in packets of kind of 3 different tiers. I've got a ton of these because I use them so much in the videos for it helps frame shots when I can stand things up a bit higher and fill the frame of the camera. Just search acrylic display stand on eBay and you'll find tons of these tons of these pieces quite cheap. Lady Harriet, come here. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello to the fans. She's arrogant, isn't she? That's it. Get down. All right. All right. We have a mystery box, as I said before, from a patron of the channel, Wesley. So, and I've seen you in the chat, Wesley. So I hope you're still here. Let's take a look at what Wesley sent me. What on earth, Harry? Harry! Damn cats, man. Can't lock them out of this room. There's no door to this room. It goes straight into the staircase, so I have no choice. Oi! Dun dun dun. Yeah, kids and wife have... Oh, Wesley, your kids and wife have joined you. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Wesley. What do we have here? Letter to Tony and packing list. Okay. John Baldry, I could get a baby gate and they would just jump straight over it. Whoa. Okay. Dear Tony, thank you for your years of great content and hard work. I found your channel during a really challenging time in my life. About 5 years ago, I became really sick and doctors could not figure why. During the following years, my illness really took a toll on my physical and mental health. I went through several surgeries and was out of work a lot. About 4 years ago, when doctors were starting to dial in a treatment plan, it was suggested that I get a hobby. As a teenager, I've been a huge collector of Star Wars and held on to most of my childhood toys. However, I stopped collecting when I went to college and got married. During the recovery from one surgery, I decided to look up toy collecting on YouTube. What I found was a committee of toy collectors that were dedicated to the nostalgia of toy collecting, repair and enjoyment. Those channels included Analog Toys, Retro Blasting, Toy Polloi, Michael Mercy and several others. You all helped me find the enjoyment of collecting again. It was not just getting things, it was and is the connections made and the joy of sharing little treasures. When I thought of getting back into collecting, I wasn't sure how to do it. My funds were limited due to my illness, space was a premium, and I had a 2-year-old and I had 2 new very young boys, so I focused on repairing what I had and followed other collectors through YouTube. I started by repairing my G.I. Joes and cleaned up my Star Wars. As my boys have gotten older, I have expanded my collection to include Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Motu, TMNT and Transformers, because they are toy lines we can enjoy together. My wife has been very supportive of my collecting hobby and enjoys the toy history videos you make. Now my boys, aged 4 and 6, are starting to show interest in G.I. Joe and Legos. We watch repair and collection videos together and they are amazed to watch me fix toys. One of their favourite things to watch online is toy unboxings and reviews. I find I really like the unboxing videos, gift box videos, because it reminds me of Christmas as a kid. Are you going to make me feel like it's Christmas there, Wesley? Recently I saw your reviews of the Star Wars Black Series Empire figures and I thought it would be fun to send you a package of some of the Black Series exclusive figures here in the States. I'm not sure what you get in Australia, and if you already have these, please feel free to use them to support the channel in however you wish. I'm also sending you a second package from the Southwest Indian Foundation. They are a charity organisation that helps Indigenous people in the southwestern United States. That package will come directly from them because the shipping was easier. If you like the package, maybe you could give the Southwest Indian Foundation a mention. I absolutely will, Wesley. When that other package arrives, I will open that on the next live stream as well. Hopefully it's here before the Christmas Eve one. I've always wanted to visit Australia, but until then, thanks for sharing life and collecting from the land down under. If you ever make it to Minnesota, you are welcome here. Sincerely, Wesley Hendrick. Thank you very, very much, Wesley. A number of people over the years have talked about how channels like mine and Retro Blasting and Toy Polloi have helped people through difficult times, and that's incredibly humbling, but not something that I ever expected would come out of this channel when I started it. You know, I wanted to share my love of toys, but the way this I've used the channel as an extension of my hobby, or what I've actually done. I've married up two hobbies together. I enjoy video production, video creation, and I enjoy toy collecting. But to know that it's had a positive impact on the lives of people like yourself, Wesley, is incredibly humbling, and I'm really appreciative of your letter and very appreciative of the box. So without further ado, George Aitken says it's a USSS flag. I'm pretty sure it isn't. But let's have a look at... Whoa. The Imperial ATAT driver. We've got more Black Series, folks. And this is from Rogue One, I believe. Sorry, it's the AT driver. Very, very cool. I love Imperials. Thank you very much. I might have to put this box down here. No way! Ah. Wesley! I didn't even know they'd made this guy. I didn't even know they'd made him. Because I'm not a Black Series expert. We have Governor Tarkin. And this is a really nice sculpt. That's a nice face. Very, very cool figure. Governor Tarkin. And we got more Imperials in here. We have General Veers. General Veers is a figure that was recently donated to the channel, but the good thing about this, Wesley, is that he comes, as you're well aware, with the helmet and the chest armor, or with his officer's cap. So now that I have two, I'm able to display them in both ways. We got a bunch of Imperials here. And oop, he took a dive. Wolfie says it's Walter Donovan. It is. Look at that. He does not want to stand up. There we go. Yes, Keith, they are awesome. And this is... Who's this guy? Someone tell me who this is. Piet. There we go. Admiral Piet. It's like the officer's mess in the Mandalorian now. Oh, very cool. Wesley says the ATC driver was a Target exclusive and Piet was an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Oh, very cool. Bobby L. Collins says that's the Admiral Intensify forward firepower. Yes, Intensify forward firepower. I know who Piet is. I just didn't recognise the face sculpt. And we have a pistol here for one of them. It's probably for Piet, I think. I love this Grand Moff Tarkin. This Governor Tarkin figure is very, very nice. And I don't know what that is. And I don't want to make the joke that's popped into my head. What? No. Wesley, I've been looking for this figure. It's Han in carbonite. Is this? This is quite heavy. I caught, and there's a looks like there's a plastic stand underneath where you can actually like prop it up, moving around. That is so cool. I hope it's all right with you, Wesley, but this is coming off the card. I want to display this. I think I know what the stand's for now. We have the interrogation droid, is it? There we go. Which I'm assuming comes with Tarkin. Oh, this is awesome, Wesley. This is awesome. I love these figures. And we have what the... You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. There's one more toy in here. Before I show you that, because I need to give myself a moment. All these Imperials that I have now, I have got to get myself a Darth Vader. I'm not saying that on the channel because I want anyone to send me a Darth Vader, because I'm pretty certain as soon as the live stream's over, I'm just going to go and buy one on eBay, because I can't wait any longer. I can't have all of this Imperial awesomeness and not have Vader. Yeah, George is saying he didn't know they made a Han in carbonite. Yeah, there isn't a Han Solo figure in here like, you know, like the last 17 one from Kenner Power of the Force. This is just the carbonite block, but that's going to look brilliant displayed with my Boba Fett. And what also is going to look good with my 6-inch Boba Fett is this exclusive 2-pack of 4-LOM and Zuckuss. Damn. The Bounty Hunters 40th Anniversary Edition. That now means I've got 4-LOM, or 4-LOM, whatever, Zuckuss, Bosk, Boba Fett. All I need now is Dengar and IG-88, and I've got all the Bounty Hunters. It's everyone saying this is an Amazon exclusive. Yeah, and this is sealed, never opened. But you guys know I'm going to open this, don't you? So this is part of the... it's part of the 40th Empire Strikes Back release, which is how I got into Black Series in the first place, when I picked up Bespin Han, Yoda, Hoth Leia, and Bespin Luke. I picked up those 4 figures in Kmart. How long ago is that now? I've been doing Black Series, or collecting Black Series now probably since around May or something like that. Wolfie762, it should fold out and display. Does it? I don't think so. I don't think it does fold out. I think this is 2 carded figures inside a box. Sorry, I broke the seal. I have to see. Yes, Kieran, I completely agree. He says, what an amazing act of kindness from Wesley. This is... Whoever it was asked me earlier if I was getting any toys for Christmas. Well, I just did. Yeah, this is 2 carded figures in here. And they are... Whoa, these look awesome. We got Zuckus there. And we got Forlom. Man, Wesley, thank you so much. I'm gonna actually, Wesley, you're on the Patreon, so you would have seen, I think yesterday or the day before, a couple of days ago, I did a very short, like 1-minute video on my phone, just showing the current state of my Black Series collection. I've run out of room in the cabinets now. I don't know how I'm going to fit this stuff in, but that's not a complaint, because for a toy collector, not having enough space to display is almost a good thing. Yeah, Keith Knight saying, Wesley, you're a legend, mate. That's just awesome. It completely is. What I want to quickly do is, on the back of this box here, I'm sure a lot of you know this story already, but it says on the back, when Kenner first produced the Forlom and Zuckus figures, the names somehow got reversed. But since these 2 bounty hunters were not identified in the film, the switch was not immediately noticed. When the mix-up was finally caught and corrected in 1989, Zuckus and Forlom finally got back their rightful identities. In this exclusive set, we are paying homage to the first appearance of these bounty hunters, that puzzled so many for years. Oh, I'm struggling to read that then. God, I need a drink, and I forgot to bring my cup of tea up to the stream today. With replicas of the original packaging, switch names and all. So, he will always be Forlom to me, because that's how I learned of him in childhood. But actually, this is Zuckus and this is Forlom. But what Hasbro have done is paid homage to the original Kenner figures and deliberately switched up the names. Wow. Where am I going to put all this? And I don't know what Gracie's going to say, because I'm going to challenge her that, you know, I hope her Christmas present to me, it's got to be better than this. I'll get her jealous. Wesley, you shouldn't have, you didn't have to, but I'm incredibly grateful that you did. What I need to do now is come up with another idea for a Black Series video, because I really want to feature the Tauntaun and Wampa that was donated by Gojatron. I've got a number of other figures in there. Obviously, George Aitkins sent me some stuff. He sent me a Stormtrooper and a few other pieces. John Baldry sent me stuff. So I've got a lot of Black Series figures that I haven't put into a video yet. So I need to figure that out, and we'll get something figured out in the new year. Yes, Kieran, I'm going to need a bigger boat. Josh Chandler says you can set up the bounty hunter scene now. Not quite, because I don't have IG-88 and Dengar, but for some reason, these two I don't want to take out of the package. I think it's because it is an exclusive Amazon set, and even with my vintage collection, I like to keep a few carded examples of stuff and have them at the back to have examples of the original packaging. Anyone who's seen the collection tour of my Action Man stuff, you'll see there's a lot of carded outfits and box figures at the back of all the loose figures. These may be 2 figures that I'm going to keep carded. Han Carbonite is definitely coming out, but these may stay packaged. So this is awesome. And I love this Governor Tarkin. All I need now is a Vader to go with him. So John Baldry says Empire Strikes Back Black Series video. Yeah, well, what have I done so far? I've done the Snowspeeder review. I've done the Heroes of Bespin review. I've made, well, I keep saying I've made the Heroes of Bespin video. I did a review of the Hoth Rebel Soldier. A Dagobah photography video. I definitely need to do a overall Hoth video, I think. But I don't know how all this is going to fit. I don't know, but it's a glorious problem to have, isn't it? Trying to figure out all the different videos you can make with this stuff. Scuba Pete says Han is getting thawed out. That's right. Damn, Harry. All right, guys. Wesley Hendricks says Dengar is really hard to get and not a great face. Oh, that's a great tip. If it's really hard to get and he hasn't got a great face, then perhaps I'll wait for a re-release. The Bosk I have is a re-release I picked up in my department store in Perth when I was last down there. So maybe I'll wait for Dengar. What's IG88 like? Is he worth looking up? But definitely the number one on my list at the moment is Darth Vader, and I need to get a second Stormtrooper as well. George Aitken sent me one, but I need to get myself another. I love that Stormtrooper, and Stormtrooper just looks weird being on his own. You need at least 2 of them, so especially when you've got 2 AT-AT drivers and 2 General Veers and 3 Hoth Rebel soldiers, and wow. Awesome. Yes, Mark Fisher. Very sadly, we lost Jeremy Bulloch last week. Boba Fett actor. Also appeared, I believe, in Doctor Who and a number of other British TV shows. So, all right. Thank you, Wesley Santa Claus Hendricks, for this incredible gift. I can't. This figure is beautiful. Very, very nice. And thank you very much for your kind letter as well. I hope your family enjoyed this part of the video, tuning in. I wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas. Best wishes for the new year. Same to everyone else watching. Have a fantastic holiday break. You'll definitely see me again before that, probably 3 times. You might actually get sick of me. So the Action Force video, as I said, is coming very, very soon. I'm expecting to finish that in the next few hours. There'll be a Christmas special video where I talk about the NECA, Gizmo and Ultimate Gremlin. We're going to do a Christmas Eve live stream with Gracie. We're going to draw some raffle tickets for the patrons. It's all good. It's all good. I can't go just yet. We've just had a super chat. Lady Harriet. Chris from the Fan Strike Back, thank you very much for the generous super chat. I'm glad I was finally able to catch one of your live streams. Glad to support your tremendous channel. Keep it up, Tony, and happy holidays. Well, happy holidays to you too, Chris, and to everyone else out there. Have a fantastic Christmas. I'm sure you'll hear me say that again in the next live stream. But if you can get up early on Christmas Eve, for those of you who are in America, to watch the Christmas Eve live stream with me and Grace, promise it's going to be a lot of fun. We will have a couple of drinks, so might get a little bit tipsy. I apologise in advance if Gracie swears, but there you go. Kieran Ball says, great live stream, wonderful online guests, incredible donations from Wesley. Merry Christmas, everyone. And I think that's the perfect place to end the stream. Merry Christmas, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Get up, turn the stream. Get out of it. Harry, come on, we need to go and get breakfast. Come on, Harry. Say goodbye.